so many times we're not ready.
Right.
And we miss the kingdom. But I pray that as he slept into his death, that he was able to say, Lord, I don't know. But I'm praying for him, surely I'm praying for him and his family. God would undergird us at this time. Nevertheless, we're here tonight, this afternoon, we're going to be talking about the kingdom. Our text from last week, if you remember what I gave you, she's been in the text, Deuteronomy 17. And I want to read, I guess I'll preach verse by verse, and if you don't mind if I scream, don't scream, because one thing I know about y'all are a church, it's a flow, it's an easy flow here. One thing about y'all, it don't take nothing for y'all to go up. You're going to... Well, you guys can say one word, you're going right on up. Maybe that's the Caribbean thing, you're just, just go right on up, There's a lot of spice up in here. Spice right. Amen. So, praise the Lord. Amen. Deuteronomy 17. Now, Pastor, I want to say something, and I don't usually get to do it, but since Pastor's not here, I got a little time. I want to say that I'm extremely elated to have the connection. Oh, he's back. Praise God. Let's honor the Lord's servant.
Amen.
All right. I was going to follow him, but he told me I had to come back. Amen. So I don't want no trouble. I'm scared of him. All righty. I want to say this to Pastor LaShawn. I thank you for the connection, because it's really you by which I was introduced to this ministry. And we used to work on the same job together. Me and Brother Keith, and I met these great people at our vocation. Hallelujah. And when I met them, they were church people at work. You ever go to work with people and you see another side of them?
Oh,
yeah. And there becomes something else, but I can truly say you live what you preach at work and at church, and I thank God for you. Because had it not been for you, I would not have met your husband, and I would not have met this ministry, and I thank God for you. Amen. And I thank God for the man of God. Pastor Emmanuel Renee Nelson.
Amen.
He was with family. They just, when they were taking the pilgrimage to the Americas, they dropped him off first and they dropped me off last. But we still were brothers separated by water. And you see it's in the blood. The anointing and the oil is in the blood. And I thank God for you. Surely I live off the word of the Lord that comes out of your mouth, and I pray that you never live or want as long as you live. Deuteronomy 17:14. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like all nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set a king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Let's talk about the kingdom perspective. And let me talk about you. I can talk, yes, a little bit. Now, Father, let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Be my strength, my redeemer.
Amen.
As I said last week, Brother Israel, God is intentional about the kingdom dynamic of our lives. Often we are not. But God is intentional to make you a king, or to develop the kingdom within you, because anybody that's called of God that doesn't operate in the kingdom because of slaves again. My God. If I don't bring you to the kingdom fortitude or the kingdom formation, you will go back to Egypt. Right. Right. And you will eat off feed and call it luxury. Amen. You will eat off slop and call it pleasure. Wow. You will eat onions and leeks. That's what they ate. That was what they ate in the wilderness. In Egypt. Onions. Who want onions as a meal? Now I'll have some onions with some stewed chicken, with some jasmine rice, with some string beans, maybe some plantains. I know how to make some stewed chicken. I can cook. Now I can cook. I can open my own restaurant. But I never asked. I never see anybody go to a sandwich store and say, "May I have an onion sandwich?" Right. But the appetite, because they stink, they're acidic, and they need something to qualify it. You can eat it, but you need something to qualify it. So it's good when it's complimentary, but when it's singular, it becomes poisonous, nasty, not delectable. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But if they don't develop the kingdom mentality, they will call onions caviar. It will become a delicacy to them. So I have to be intentional about changing your appetite, changing your desires, changing, watch this, practically your mode of operations. Do you not know it is the desire of the Spirit to influence even how naturally you function? Because there's some natural dysfunctions that we practice because we don't have inward spiritual revelation. Wow. Take your time. You don't know who you are yet on the inside, so you operate and practice like a slave. Woo. You preaching. So every now and then God has to cut you off from the realm of your past. Right. Sometimes we want to go back to our past, woman of God, but God said, no, I can't let you stay in your past because that is the thing that will enforce slavery. Amen. Can I talk like Pastor Emmanuel do? So he said, now you're going to come out of your Egypt. And you will pass through a wilderness. See, the place of Egypt is a place of not enough. Not enough. But your wilderness would be a place where we move from not enough to just enough. In Egypt, we didn't have it. But in the wilderness, all we do is have what we have. Right. But not even that is acceptable. Yes. When I read the text, I'm reminded of the consciousness of the Spirit that wants more for me than I can ever desire for myself. Yes. Thank you. Lord have mercy. And when He starts connecting the kingdom dots, He will make things uncomfortable in your life that used to be comfortable so that you can be forced into the kingdom measure. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Wow. He will practically rip some stuff away from you that you thought you could not live without, just because if He doesn't break the system of your pattern, you'll never come to the height of the kingdom. Lord have mercy. So He has to bring David into the palace, but give David a Saul to lord over him. I will bring you in just close proximity to it, but yet engage the process so that you don't perpetuate the same fraud. Wow. Wow. That's good. Because you really like Saul too. You just didn't have the occasion to prove that you are. Wow. It's going to get excited at me. Now, Saul is on the throne now, but the reason why I let you be connected to Saul is because you got some of that in you too.
Right.
Wow.
So that's why you can't kill Saul. Because if you kill Saul, you kill yourself. Because this is what I've established to give birth to the kingdom measure. So Saul is better morally. You're better spiritually. Saul got one wife, you got a lot of wives. But Saul will kill his children for his throne. Lord have mercy. Saul is better. He's a better family man than David. He really is. You study, Saul is a better family man than David. But Saul will kill his firstborn when he does not do what he wants him to do. Now David got some issues too, because David does not know how to reprimand his children. When his son rapes his daughter, he says nothing about it.
Right.
You teach it.
But if I take Saul out of the process of you becoming king, you will never learn that there's some things that you have to do and you have to repent to become king.
You teach it.
Almost done. So when you come out of your captivity, when you come out of your bondage, when you come out of your Egypt, when you come through your wilderness, you will arrive to the kingdom. Can I tell some of you, you're one step away from the kingdom. You will arrive. The reason why this ministry is so powerful is because it's apostolic and prophetic, which is really the conception of the kingdom. It's apostolic and prophetic coming together to produce kingdom. If you have one without the other, you won't have kingdom. If you have government without spiritual power, you're still missing the kingdom. So God brought you to a apostolic and prophetic church. A church where we prophesy, but when we also set order. Because if all I do is prophesy and not set order, you're still going to be crazy. Crazy. I have to set order. The kingdom is not just about what we can be. It's about what we allow ourselves to become.
Amen.
All right, good. Now, when you come into this place, you will have an appetite for things that you're not used to. Let's talk about that. Real kingdom perspective opens up the door to what you are not used to. Some places you have not seen. I have now a crazy habit. For the next 5 weeks, for the last 8 weeks, Pastor, I've been on a plane every single week. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would say, I'm tired of getting on and off plane.
Wow.
Man of God, I'm just so, I'll be like, wow, I'm staying home this week. This week, coming, I'm in Atlanta. The following week, I'm in Florida. The following week, I'm in Chicago. So, now when I go to the airport, I got Clear. I don't know, Clear is an airport. Because I don't want to wait on lines. So I just go, I take that retina, I put they say, oh, come on through, no lines. Now I see everybody else on this line, and I'm just like going through the gate.
Glory!
But now when I pick my travel, now I don't give people honorariums. I don't say you got to give me $1,000 to come. I say, okay, I'll come. I'm not in it for money.
Glory!
That's why money finds me. I'm not in it for money. I'm going to have money.
Glory!
Whether or not people give me money or not, don't negate the fact that I will have money.
Amen.
I'm not going to kill my mama and kill my daddy for money. Come on, y'all. They say money. Oh, yeah, all right, I'm almost done. Now, Pastor, because I'm traveling, I sat in economy seats, and now I'm sitting, and my preference is first class. Because I'm traveling so much, the option has caused me to desire something different from what I'm doing. Now last year I flew probably twice. This year, ever since January, I've flew countless of times. But because of the frequency of flight, it has developed an option mentality. God Almighty, I'm trying to break this down. There is a desire for more when you're engaged into the kingdom. So now I say, first class, baby. The woman said, oh, you know what, that's $300 more. I said, well, you know what, put it on the card. I didn't ask you how much it costs. Because when I created an option, I created space for cost. I'm trying to be nice. That desire, the kingdom expanded me. So now I am in first class. That's my preference. Now, am I better than anybody else sitting in coach? No. I'm no better. I just have other options. The kingdom comes to educate you through your options. Why are you acting like a pauper when God has made you a king? Have you explored the options that you are entitled to? Some of us, that's why we're a part of a prophetic church. Because David is a king, but he needs a prophet to pour oil. You need prophetic potency to speak to the area of your life that you don't know yet. And bring you up to the realm of kingdom. That's important. Now, so he said, as you come into the place of provision, your thought process will expand. Your desires will increase. For you, some of us, we should be comfortable sowing $1,000 seed in church.
Right. Amen. That sounds good to me. I want to get there.
Yes, ma'am. See, I want to get there too. I'm there. We should be comfortable sowing $100 every week. If you can, Bishop Jordan told me that. Bishop Jordan said, if you are not comfortable asking as you minister for $1,000 seed, you won't be comfortable receiving it either. If it cannot be demanded by your tongue, it won't be entered into your life. If you cannot confess the kingdom, when it comes upon you, it's going to frustrate you. You ever been around people, you try on a pair of shoes, or you go somewhere and they go, what you doing that for? Pastor, you ever been around people? That's what they did. Judas, when Judas saw that the oil was expensive and being put on the feet, he said, why are you putting money there? See, he was acting like slavery. Watch who's close to you and still has a slavery mentality. Because if you let them sit as a subject to your counsel, they're going to poison your throne. If you have an issue with me arising, but you are comfortable with me being in a state of pity, then you ain't ready for the new level. Lord Jasmine. You better get yourself together. And I want to say this prophetically. This church is called urgently to the togetherness of the kingdom.
Yes.
Quickly. Stop playing kingdom and be the kingdom. Don't be like the story of the king that had no clothes on. You're wearing invisible clothes and you're not ready for the march. You're not ready to move out because we've been calling. Now this month has not been in vain. Not only has it been going on Sundays, but on Tuesday nights and on times of gathering and on Sunday morning. The words of the kingdom have been given to you so that you can speak new words to your life. If you're speaking the same slavery language, you're going to produce kings that enforce slavery in your life. You want to know why you're attracting what you're attracting? It's because of your language.
Right, come on.
And your language is produced by your mentality. Your confession has produced your possession. I'm almost done because you're tired of me. I'll never have it. I'll never go there. I'll never be this. See, what happens is when you're anointed to work in the kingdom, although you may not have the wherewithal to know you're there, or the consciousness to know you're there, the kingdom world does.
That's right.
So that's why so many things have stuck to our lives, because we've had words to tell it to stay there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Words.
See, this is not the kind of church where we will let you be comfortable saying stuff that's antithetical against the move of God. All right, long story short, Pastor, your grace, I promise I'll be done in 15 minutes. You're going to choose a king. Your desire will cause you to have choices. Now, but don't allow this choice to make you forget the covenant. Don't let your options blind you to the responsibility of the vow. Because I told you you were coming there. I just wanted to see whether you really believed you were getting there. You know what, Danny? Sometimes, Minister Daniel, when we come to that place of ascension, we really never believed it. So we don't have a conviction to support it. So that's why when people get a little money, they still act crazy. Bishop, can I tell you a secret? I wish we were, I know we don't lie. So Bishop, can I tell you something? I'm going to tell you a personal moment between me and you. I tell you stuff because I really love you. And I'm highly transparent. The brothers will tell you, I'm a very transparent person. When I go away now to hotels, I'm on ministry. There are an assortment of things that are thrown at me. I'm trying to make this as G-rated as I possibly can. I'm getting off of planes, on planes. I'm coming to an environment, and not everybody there is holy.
Talk about it.
Not everybody's holy as Mount Zion. Not everybody is prayed up as Mount Zion. Not everybody is prophetic and apostolic as Mount Zion. You got some hellhounds out there. You got some hellhounds with gray hair. I never knew you could, the Lord Jesus. Bishop, you got some folks that got gray silver streaks, gray hair. And as hot as a jalapeno on top of a piece of chicken at a 4th of July barbecue. Come on, y'all. The man of God has options. But kingdom calls me to a different consecration. I feel like screaming. Yes. It's not that I don't have option. My convictions has to be greater than my option. Because if I mess up now, it suggested I was not prepared and I didn't really believe I was going to ever get there. So when I go into my room, I go into my room by myself. And I come out by myself. And I go back in by myself. And I come back out by myself. Because the kingdom won't keep calling me to mess up the kingdom. Lord have mercy here. I was out ministering a few weeks ago, and the blessing of the Lord came upon me in church. And when I left to go outside into the hallway, the blessing of the Lord tried to come upon me again. What will you decide to do? See, because this here, Bishop, Apostle, is not about what God says necessarily. It's about what God is saying. But it's about what we've chosen to do in response to what God. We need to develop your choice patterns. Because your praise is good, but your choices are crazy. It's about to get mixy. Your worship is high, but your decisions are low. They're low down, dirty, rotten shame. You don't really believe it yet. So you don't act like you know it. You can't live like you know it, and you can't grow it. Because what can't be grown can't be transferred. Grace, please back me up because I don't want to say anything. All right. It's about it. Now, thou shalt not in any wise, I love this, set him a king over you, whom the Lord thy God shall not choose. From one from among thy brethren. Don't put nothing over you that Lord has not chosen. We've got to develop ourselves better so that we don't pick what is pleasurable but injurious to our destiny.
Come on. Right.
Why aren't you walking in the knowledge of who God has called you to be yet? What has all of these years of worship and praise been if you don't walk into the knowledge of it? There's some things you got to know to stay into this thing. Come on, y'all. What do you know about the vision of your church? Almost done. I don't want to turn this into a leadership. What do the leaders know about what God has said to the leader? I'm not talking about what you feel. I feel like, I feel like my leader is the best leader. I feel like Pastor LaShawn is the best. I feel like the worship and praise. I feel like a nut, and sometimes I feel like a mound. I feel like I'm saved. I feel like I'm holy. I feel. You feel. But when the storm comes, it ain't going to be about what you feel, baby. Because a storm is going to be a revelation about what you really know. It ain't about feeling the ministry, it's about knowing who the ministry is. Lord. It ain't about, I feel the pastor. No, you better follow the pastor. And to follow it ain't about what you feel, it's about what you can obey. Follow me as I follow Christ, not feel me as I follow Christ. Jasmine, you're praying for me, baby. An arroz con pollo. Con arroz blanco solamente. Hace mal tiempo. Hace mal tiempo aquí. See what I'm saying? It's not about what you feel. You cannot pick on the basis of your feelings, particularly when you have not gotten rid of the Egypt's mentality yet. Be honest with yourself. Oh, see, the thing about there's a danger about, I need to give you this word. There's a danger about the words you've been receiving this last few months because you'll be tested by what you hear. I wouldn't be your friend or brother if I didn't tell you. Rejoice in June, but the test is coming in July. When you have a choice to make, whether you're going to serve God or serve your flesh. It'll just make it light if you laugh because I don't want to holler and scream at you here. All right, you cannot pick whom the Lord has not chosen when you're consecrated. They act like a fool. They can't sit in your context. I have not chosen this. Every now and then, you got to be comfortable with hearing what God has not chosen, so it can enlighten what God has chosen. Sometimes you got to admit, I'm at a place that I chose, but it's not where God has chosen. Sis, you part of this church? You joined this church right in time.
Yes, you did.
Why did say that? I thought you'd be happy for it. Turn around. She's going to be a great soul winner for Jesus. Her business is going to come into order. Her life is going to come into order. Her relationship is going to come into order. She'll be a different type of woman. She'll have a great standard. Y'all don't know how to praise God for somebody else. You join just in time. You join just. The enemy's trying to kill you, baby. If you stayed out 2 more months, you probably wouldn't even be here. But God put choice and oil on you, honey. God chose the ministry. Daddy, when he called Mount Zion, he called you to be a part of this ministry.
That's right.
He knew the oil that it took to pastor you.
My God.
Pastor Deshaun Lord. He knew that sometimes you need a soft hand, like my sister, so soft and kind. And then he also knows every now and then you need a strong hand like Papa. To get all up in you. So, all right, let me dig this out here. You know, like a prison shank. You ain't never been to prison? You don't know about a prison shank. Yeah, real quick. Okay. I didn't get you real quick. That's why, Pastor Deshaun, every now and then the old saints used to get us real quick. You were talking in the middle of your conversation. You need strong hand from Papa and strong hand from Mama. Because I know what it takes to pastor me. If you're not strong with me, I'm going to look at you like a fool. My job is to make sure that I am healthy in my choices. Because sometimes people call abuse love.
That's right.
You got some sick, twisted way of thinking about what love is. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Love is not beating you in the side of your head, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Slapping you every 5 minutes. I had a family member, man, my God, I don't know how she did it. She was getting beat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, well, my baby, God, you getting beaten like, you're 30 years old, you still getting beat by a man like that? What's wrong with you? You're still picking in your Egypt mentality. Make sure that it's chosen of God. Now go down. That it's not a stranger. It's not estranged. Another word for not intimate with your destiny. You got folks that are estranged. That's why when they say married couples that are not, they're together in paper, but apart in life, practicality, they are estranged. Because you got the ink on the paper, but no intimacy in the heart. Who have you allowed, oh God, to be in a high seat, but no intimacy with your future? Because all they're doing is pulling you down. Is it all right if I don't scream pastor today? Okay. I'm going to choose one. I'm going to let you choose. But it can't be people that are foreign from you. Now, one thing Israel had to learn. Here's why. That's the Sean. 10 more minutes, I'm done. Look at it. Israel had to learn and be methodical. If you notice the Jews today, they're methodical about worship. Everything they do has been done for the last thousands of some odd years. The same way. I don't care how much money that you can make on Friday at 5 o'clock. They will not open their store.
They will not. They will not.
At 12, 1 o'clock latest, they are out. They are not open for business because they're methodical people.
That's right.
Now, when you study them people, you do know there's a lot of corruption going on in there. But they are methodical. And the reason why they have to be methodical is because slaves, if they don't have the right habits or methods, they will make idols out of their slave master.
Wow. Wow.
Israel is always making an idol. They're kings that don't understand the only object of their affection or adoration has to be God. But when you're not healed from your slavery mentality, you will make idols out of what you create. Now, go up. But now the choice that you make, but he shall not multiply horses unto himself. Watch this. Nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses, for as much as the Lord hath said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way. You don't pick a stranger, but you don't pick somebody, watch this, that is so much into himself that he can't give you God.
Wow.
Bishop, so I was in a relationship years ago.
That's right.
Pastor Sean, I was in a relationship. And the young lady, she really loved me. I really do believe she loved me. She really did. She loved me all her heart. And I loved her, or at least I thought I loved her. And her mother sat me down to the table and she said, son, my daughter don't love you. She worships you. Wow. She was a spiritual woman. She was a prophetic woman. And she said, God said, leave my daughter alone or he will kill you to get you out of her life. Because he will not have another God before him. Unbeknownst to her, in craving love, she produced idols. You got to get rid of Egypt. Because your crave will be your grave in Egypt. Lord, I'm trying to do like Pastor Man, you know, he just say those stuff and just all sneak up on you, just prolific and profound book. He be saying books and sentences. You don't rush intimacy in God. I gotta handle your cravings. Is this good for you? I hope this is good. But I really want you to come into the kingdom. If I just holler, your cravings have to be dealt with. You got somebody that's so hungry to be the boss that he will take you from God. So I had to tell the young lady, I said, baby, I noticed you spend more time talking to me than you did with prayer. I had to be honest and say, I love you, I really like you, you're beautiful, but I know if I stay here, it's going to mess you up. And I love God too much to live with the outcomes of what I produce. You got to go. It hurt me. I didn't want to see her with nobody else, but at the end of the day, if I stayed there, either me or her was going to be at the grave. Because if I allow it to be a multiplication to me, and God don't get glory out of the multiplication, it's still in Egypt. It's only kingdom when it multiplies and gives glory to God. Glory. But if it multiplies and gives glory to me, it's still the wilderness in Egypt. Wow. Don't put this. They cannot be desirous to bring back to themselves. Can I tell you about this church? Bishop Apostle said it earlier this month. It's time for us to do kingdom work, winning souls. Reaching this community. Reaching people that are on our jobs. Reaching out. Stop trying to reach America and win your cousins. I want a crusade in Barbados. You better get a crusade up in your community. I want to go to China on mission. Well, your cousin round the block on Michigan Avenue don't know Jesus. you to think about foreigners because it requires another level of ministry to really deal with people that are part of your culture. Because they know you for who you really are. So we would rather jump to strangers so we can multiply our ego instead of multiplying the purpose of God. How about really have a conviction and a covenant to really live this thing out of church so that people can see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven? Y'all ain't saying nothing. All right. Because if this person has not qualified himself for the kingdom, he's going to bring you back to slavery. Look at it. If they want a lot of horses, for as much as the Lord has said, you shall not have, neither shall you multiply. Oh Lord. Because if I give this person horses, they're going to say to you, let's go back to Egypt. All right, Bishop, I'm done because the people are quiet. Oh, and by the way, this is the last Sunday for me. So next week, y'all going to have your pastor back. Yeah. Y'all glad about it. You're going to be like, wow, we just tired of Nelson. You're going to be like I was when I was young. I used to go to my aunt's house. And I used to beg my mother. I used to call, Mom, please don't let me go. Daddy will be back next week. But if you really tap into what God is saying, you'll be back better for Daddy when he come back. All righty.
Go ahead now.
All right. Now listen to this. Ye shall henceforth return no more to that way. I don't want you, when you're kingdom, I don't want you to go back to the same pattern. I don't want you to go back, I promise you, in 5 minutes of sitting down. I don't want you to go back to the same pattern. I don't want you to go back to the same mode of operations. Break the pattern. Break the pattern. Break the habit. That happens through consistency.
Yes.
That happens through hard work. That happens through practicality. Break. Some of you need to pray and walk. Stop. Try not to get on your knees at your house because you ain't going to do it. Because you get on your knees and you stay there 10 minutes and fall asleep. I want to be honest with you. Y'all got on your knees and you rewarded yourself after 15 minutes because you was just on your knees, but you didn't break through in the spirit. Put your little prayer shawl on. Get your oil. Like me, I get on prayer, I put oil on my head. Sometimes I wash my hands. I want to come before God like the Muslims do, clean. Put some oil on, I'm just praying. And at some point, I'm getting tired. I can't stay on my knees a long time. My house is too tranquil. It's too comfortable. My house is too beautiful for me. So I get sleepy in the environment. So I noticed I had to do prayer walks. Because I won't fall asleep walking. See, in the kingdom, don't let your technique be greater than your impact. Because you be doing the same thing that people do in yoga. Yoga, they doing exercise, but they ain't making impact. That's exercise. That's technique. But it's no impact. But if you start walking, Father, in the name of Jesus, I bind every spirit on this Rockaway Boulevard. I bind every spirit. I speak life. I speak the word of the Lord. Even as I'm walking through these streets, I speak that life is coming back. I speak that your kingdom of God is enlarging. I speak, that rainbow is falling. I speak that prosperity. That person I just walked by, she's battling with that crack addiction. But Lord, break it. Break it right now. Break it. I command to break it. Pray and walk. Break the pattern. Don't reward yourself with incomplete patterns. Oh, Jesus. I'm done. Now, they cannot want silver for themselves. I have to say this, and Pastor usually brings us back to this. There is a fiscal kingdom economy, I'm prophesying, that's getting ready to take hold of the believer going up to 2020. All right. The grace And the power of God coming on the believer, sister, is going to be so powerful that you will not want. Some of you will have to make a decision as to whether I stay on this job or leave. Because the money that's getting ready to hit God's church is going to overwhelm the world, not just us. Because the real believers have been expecting it. But it's going to overwhelm them. Because they didn't expect God to transfer like he's getting ready to transfer. He is going to fiscally shift the systems of the economy and bring the believers up and the hell raisers down. The glory days are going to pay for its own revival. Pastor anointed me. I'm almost done. Pastor anointed me. He said, you're going to be a millionaire. I am a millionaire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a millionaire's influence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a millionaire's taste.
Yes.
I have a millionaire's vision. And I want to have a millionaire's signature. I just don't want to have money. I want my name to mean money. When I write my signature, I want credits to be like, whatever he says, give it to the man. I want the kind of influences that when I walk in the bank says, what can we do for you today? What can we do to make you stay with us? We don't want to lose you. I ain't trying to get nothing from you. I want you to be pouring back to me. The glory days of the Lord. Now I got to go into prophecy exam. I'm done. Can you give me one more Tuesday? Now I can't be this Tuesday because I'm going to Georgia. Can I come the following Tuesday? I'm coming the following Tuesday.
Amen.
I just got to finish it because I can be more. And I promise, Pastor, can I bring some notes? I'll bring some notes and paperwork.
Yes.
Sorry. But I have to prophesy.
Amen.
Glory days are coming back to New York. Man of God, you have been praying. You have been praying for the release of glory days like I've been praying. Why have our churches not been growing? Says, you know why it haven't been growing? Because there has not been a display of glory that attracts people to it. It's been so messy we can't see the miracles. And there are miracles among us, but the mess has covered the miracle. We're almost like the man that has mud on his eyes. He can see, but he's got to wash the mud off. Oh, I can preach that. Pastor, preach that for me. See, Jesus made a mud pie on his face, but in order for him to see, he's got to get the mud off of his face. But we've been like that church with mud on. We got eyes covered up in mud. I'm going to preach that. That's good. So you got the miracle, but you can't walk the life out. But glory days are coming back for us to walk in the reality of the miracle. You are talking about an influence in the church where we come into credibility. And we have growth that complements the credibility. Stay where you are. Don't leave this church, but don't get comfortable in this church. Because God is going to transport a glory cloud throughout this region and beyond. You have practice in Brooklyn, but you're getting ready to do real work in Brooklyn. God wanted to first see you were obedient before he can release the power of the miracle. Man of God, as you obey quickly, the heavens will start obeying you quickly. As you move into the month of July, into August, September, October, November, God said, write down the jobs that you want the saints to have. God said, write down not the job that you want, because you won't have to worry about job. And you won't have to worry. You and your wife won't have to worry about money. God Almighty. God said, put it at the altar. Let the people see the decrees. And let their faith arise to what has been spoken by your mouth. God said, nail it to somewhere. Show it. Put it on a billboard. I speak nurses in this house. I speak nurse practitioners. I speak doctors. I speak people who deal in the realm of business, communications. There's a strong influence coming, even for the phone company. I don't know whether it's Verizon or AT&T, but there's an influence coming in this church where jobs will be given from a person that works in this church for working in communications. There is a release of glory days. Hallelujah. To where the jobs of the Lord have been released and power has been released to keep us fulfilled and giving glory to God. Some of you, I have to come off your job, hallelujah, at the point and the time giving you because you're called to ministry. I realized that God brought me off my job because he called me to ministry. Now, Pastor LaShawn knows how much I was making. I want to be honest with you. Pastor LaShawn, and I thank God for it, but Pastor LaShawn knew how much I was making. I was not making a lot of money. I was not afraid to say it. And I keep that money, I keep a check in my bag. I was making $800 and some odd dollars every 2 weeks, Pastor LaShawn. Am I right? You heard what she said? I make that every 2 days now. I make that every 2 days. I said he's turning your weeks into days. I said he's turning your weeks into days. I dare somebody to rise up to the kingdom because what you have made in weeks, God said I will give you to make it. There's a shift. There's a shift in this house. There's a movement in this house. There's a glory communication in this house. God says what that took weeks and days and months to make shall be made in days. The man of God does not have to work on certain jobs, man. He just got to speak jobs. Communicate to his spirit. Provoke him. Push him to prayer. Push him into the altar. Push him into obedience.
Yes.
Push him to a place where he says, I believe God for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear? Some of that is in the oil that you put on me, man of God. Pastor LaShawn knows. Now she knows how much I made. She said 840. She know better than me. Yeah, I know that. $842 and what? 63 cents. I will be honest. Sometimes I'm afraid. I'm like, Lord, what is this? What are you doing? Set me up for? Sometimes in your mind it plays tricks on you because you're like, when you really look at the blessings, you're like, wow, wait a minute. Am I doing something wrong? What is this from the devil? I mean, you saw, maybe that's just it. I have to do it. Can I say this to you? God says, when the kingdom comes into prominence, we just not will have glory, we will have glorified possessions. All right, the text. I'm done with my Bible. The Ark of the Covenant was in the house of Obed-Edom. And the Bible says the Lord blessed everything that pertained to the house of Obed-Edom. God Almighty, I feel a shift. The cockroaches were blessed. The mice were blessed. The servants were blessed. The servants had servants. Are you ready for the servants of this house to have servants? I'm ready to leave this church and go home and come into my long driveway with a big, huge gate that says RLN on a big, fancy steel gate. And I drive up with these trees kissing one another and come into one of my guest room, throw up my feet and say, God, I give you glory. I'm going to bring Pastor LaShawn. I'm going to bring, oh God, I'm going to bring Apostle over. You say, now there's your wing. Don't let me hear from you for another 3 days. I'm not talking about a room, a wing. On my wing. You got a pool house over there. You got a guest room over there. You got servants' quarters. You got a kitchen. You got a study. You got a pool. You got a man cave. You got a she cave. Go in your cave. I don't want to see you for 3 days. didn't expect to grow. But because you have oil on you, God's going to shift these things. Lift up your hands and down. Pastor, I'm sorry, I was all over the place. It's a day of prominence, but a day of power. The key is, don't let prominence fool you. If you get so glorified with the prominence that you can't give God the glory, He's going to take it from you and cut you down. He'll give you everything you want, but if you can't give Him glory, He's going to cut you down. Some of us, and I say us, I mean it's inclusive. The reason why some of us can't have what we really want is because God knows if I gave it to you, you won't give me glory. So He said, I got to hold it up, because you're going to make a God out of this. Father, I thank you for the release of power, the release of miracles, the release of favor, the release of prominence. God, I thank you that all of our needs are met, that we lack nothing, nothing is held up. Father, I thank you for revelation. I thank you for impartation. Make us the David you've called us to be. Father, put it in us. Put it in the soil of our heart. Now the Lord just told me to tell you, woman of God, this is a year where you will have more than you ever had before. I know you've been waiting for some things in the spirit. You've been waiting for some things to settle for you, but the Lord said it's already settled.
Amen. Wonderful.
And at the end of the year, I gave a seed for Pastor. I left it early. And God said, now I think what the Lord said to do, I'll stay right here. Pastor, the Lord, that check I gave, where's Pastor? He said, oh, I'm sorry, I had mud on my eyes. I said, Pastor, the Lord said to pay the seed early. That $1,000 seed I gave you, He said, pay it before that month. I said, God, I'm going to do it. He said, because I'm going to advance you early.
Wow.
So don't feel like you got to wait till the end of the year to start a practice. Your new year begins when you plant that seed. God Almighty. He said 2020 begins when you plant that seed. He said do it early. God knows I'm going to do it early. I'm doing it early. I'm putting $1,000 cash into that man of God's hand because I got to advance what I know God's going to do in 2020. And the Lord says to tell you, this is the year where you're going to have more than you ever had before. God said before the end of the year, you too need to take the covenant with me and give your best seed. He said, give the best seed, the greatest seed of your life to this ministry. He said, because what I'm going to do for the next 5 years of your life is set you up for inheritance. While you are living and enjoying it, you will begin to set up what you leave behind. Favor is upon you. Favor is upon you. Minister Ann, you will lift your hands. There's another download coming to your finance. Prophet, can I prophesy to the prosperity of this house? God said there's another download coming to your finance. There's another extension of grace and favor on your finances. Man of God, you're going to walk in a greater powerful influence in life, ministry, and in finances. I don't have to give you a lot before you can perform it. The Lord said, even in the little, you shall have lots. He said, now prepare yourself to think in the avenues of what I prophesied would be 20 years from now and 10 years from now. He said, prepare yourself to touch it, to move into it and possess it now. He said to tell you, you are not just a prophet, but you're a financier. He said through your hands and through the gifting of your finances shall the financing of ministry come. And there shall not be any lack because you're too abundant to even know that. Prepare to give away what you desire to have yourself. I gave you a vision at 15 years old, and the Holy Ghost says the vision is real and the vision is now. Almost done here. The saints are quiet. Financial frustration be broken and be resolved within you. If you stay in favor with me, there will not be anything that you will lack in your life. God said your key will be staying in favor with me. Do your first works and I shall do the greater work. God said to touch your hands and tell your hands to command new things. Tell your vision to expand. Go back, take a trip out to Long Island. Go to the city, see the places of wealth and begin to speak and pray wealth into my people and pray wealth into my servants. Your homework will be praying into about what you really need yourself. God said when you move from desiring it to speaking it, it shall come forth. The famine is over when you first speak. I cannot prophesy about 15 minutes. Come on, open your mouth and worship. Come on, worship. Can I speak to the prophetic power of this church? Man of God, stretch your hands, man. Come on forward. Stretch your hands. I hear the Father saying, prepare yourself to prophetically give into the areas that I've called this ministry to serve. You will prophetically give. You will give when you're not asked to give. He's loading you up. When I say you will be a lender and not the borrower, that is in every area, even in your credit score. I speak into the 800s. May businessmen and women come to you and say, sir, can I use your credibility to start my business? God said honor, prophetic honor shall be upon you. And God said a staff. The preparation of a staff shall come. Oh, yes, Lord. God said a staff. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. I am still calling you to 2 o'clock prayer. I hear the Lord saying 2 o'clock prayer. If you can put your flesh under subjection and come up to the hour of 2 o'clock, I can turn everything around in your life. And the life of 20 others. It's so on you. Come on. Woman of God, a new place of miracles, a new place of consistency, a new place of growth, and a new place of pour out. I hear the Father saying, there's some things you've got to pour out. Before 2020 comes in, you need a receptacle ministry, throwing garbage out. There's some things that you have to even throw out in your places of living. God said throw out old letters, old bills, old things you put away and hid, out of anger and pain. I hear the Father say, throw it out and I shall put more into you. Your destiny is calling you in a strong, aggressive way. I don't know where you work, but a new environment the Father's going to put you in. It's the environment of the Lord. It's not your choice, it's God's choice. God's choice is better than your choice. He said, I'm not asking you for permission to do what I want to do in your life anymore. He said, I seize the moment to intervene on your behalf because your prophetic destiny is calling to a necessary place. I release oil for you for new movement. Come on, lift up your hands. Come on, lift up your hands. Come on, sis, I got to prophesy to you. Come on. Oh, my Lord, the fatigue of the faithful, God, don't let her be fatigued in this season. Namamanda Yaso. Miando, lift her up to that place of dominion. No request, but dominion. For there are some family members that she must lay hands on. There are some family members that she must